Jackson State got a big home win over Grambling, and they won by 42 points. They scored 66 points. But in the midst of it, well, at the end of it, after the game was over, Coach Prime had some interesting comments about the GramFam. Let's talk about it. Was he out of line? Was it fair? After the bumper, stay tuned. What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. here with the Black Boss Channel on Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload every single day. Now, Coach Prime, he and his Jackson State Tigers got a big win over Grambling. Second half, they outscored Grambling 45-7. They won the game 66-24. It was just a dominant performance, specifically in the second half, just dominant all-around performance, offensively, defensively, every single way. Deion Sanders, 6 touchdowns. Savion Wilkerson, over 150 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns for himself. So they just went crazy, right? But after the game, Coach Prime had some interesting comments about the turnout. So Jackson State, I don't know what the official number in attendance, but it looked like it was well over 50,000 people were there. And Coach Prime had some interesting comments about the turnout, not necessarily from the Jacksonians, from the JSU faithful, but from the GramFam. So let's go over to Twitter to MTMV Sports. They took a clip of video posted by HBCU Game Day from the comments of Coach Prime, and they got a whole lot of people talking. As you see, 96,000 views, a bunch of, almost 300 quote tweets. Let's listen to what he said. It got everybody talking.
Coach, let me ask, despite the trials and tribulations that the city of Jackson has been going through, how about that turnout today with regards to Jackson State fans?
The Jackson turnout was phenomenal. The Grambling turnout was pathetic.
The Grambling turnout was pathetic. Those is fighting words, and the GramFam wasn't feeling that. Let's continue to hear what he had to say.
I mean, we always talking about we down for y'all and we good for the culture. Where they at? And then when we get up by 2 touchdowns, they running for the cars. That's what I mean by this traditional mess. I get sick of that.
I don't know about that, Coach. I don't know if I agree with that. Let's continue on.
Tradition. What tradition? The team get up on you leave. When we got up on Miami, I'm sorry, we got up on Fam, band dip. Right? Now half the fans now. It's not tradition. That's front runners. That's what's got to change.
Okay. Coach said, you lose and you should stick around. First, let's put some things into context. And this is according to the folks that were at the game, the GramFam. I've spoken to some of them. The conditions in Jackson weren't suitable for the visitor side. And what I mean by that is apparently they ran out of water and drinks in the visitor concession stands by halftime. That's just what I'm hearing. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But what I'm hearing is they ran out of water on a very hot, sticky, humid day down in Jackson, Mississippi, in the South. We know how hot it gets. And they ran out of water. So you ran out of water. Your team's butt's getting kicked. Hell, I'm leaving too. I'm not sticking around to watch Deion Sanders throw 80-yard touchdowns in the fourth quarter up by 30 points. You get what I'm saying? I don't. And the problem I have here with what Coach Prime said, because you can be right and wrong in one phrase. Like, you can be right in some parts of your speech, but then be wrong in some parts of your speech. Coach Prime said, the Grambling turnout was pathetic. Now, once again, I wasn't at the game, so I don't know how many Grambling people showed up. But what I do know is that even Coach Jackson has spoken out about the Grambling attendance from last year. He spoke out about that before he played his first game or coached his first game at Grambling. He talked about how the 2021 attendance was pitiful. I mean, I even did a video about it. I even did a video about Coach Jackson calling out the GramFam. Let me pull it up. Hold on. This is Coach Jackson has actually been on wax talking about the GramFam and their attendance or lack thereof. This is what let me I mean, I can show you because the title of this is called Hue Jackson calls out GramFam for lack of attendance in 2021. So I did this back in July. And so this is something that is possible. So once again, I wasn't at the game and I don't know how many Grambling people showed up. But I know it is possible for Grambling not to show up all the time. And their own head coaches talked about that. So that part is like, okay, Prime might have been onto something with that. Okay, you know, he was coaching at the game. He was actually there and I wasn't. But what I didn't like, and some FAMU people have spoken out about this, I didn't like the calling out of FAMU because apparently, according to them, they had band members that were passing out due to the heat in Miami. And for those of you who don't know, the Miami Stadium down in the Dolphin Stadium in Miami, they have built it to where heat, like basically it's hotter on the visitor side. And so FAMU was on the visitor side and their band was on the visitor side. And apparently folks were passing out from that. So that's why they did. Not because they were getting smashed, but it's because they literally had people falling out. And the same thing happened in Jackson with the GramFam, with the Grambling fans in attendance. This is a picture posted by HBCU Premier Sports. And I've had people that were at the game tell me that folks had heat exhaustion. Fans from Grambling State University and Jackson State University overcome by heat, forced to leave the game early. Reports that supply bottled water running out before halftime. They were leaving the game early, and it wasn't just the GramFam. That's a lot of red. It's a lot of red headed for the exits. Now, granted, you guys fit a 60,000 in the stadium, but that looks like a lot of red headed for the exits. People on the ground, people passing out from heat. So you can challenge Grambling fans to be there to the game, but knocking them for leaving the game early? That happens in every stadium, every sport across America. They had people, the greatest example of that was when the Miami Heat were in the freaking NBA Finals. They were in the NBA Finals. Their fans thought they were about to lose, and they left the game early. Miami came back to win the game. But this doesn't just happen in HBCU football. This doesn't just happen at Jackson State versus Grambling. This will happen in Florida versus Florida State. This will happen at Kentucky versus Louisville. This will happen at the NFL, the Bears versus the Packers. Like, this happens. Fans, when their team is losing, especially when they're getting dog walked. I mean, this ain't like no 7-point game, no 14-point. This is a 42-point game. They lost the game by 6 touchdowns. So, yes, their fans left early. Yes, when they saw Deion Sanders dropping 80-yard bombs, already up 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, yes, they hit this. They wanted to beat the traffic. Yes, fans are fickle. Like, that happens. It just happens. It just happens. So I didn't like that to almost talk as if this don't happen nowhere else. That just simply isn't true. And like I said, you can challenge them to be there during the game, of course. But to call them out for leaving the game early because their team is getting drugged by 42 points, I wasn't a fan of that, especially knowing Coach obviously didn't know this, the conditions in the stadium, but especially knowing the conditions in the stadium. Your stadium's running out of water. Your city has a water crisis. Let's not forget that. Jackson, Mississippi had a water crisis, and that's not Jackson State's fault. That's not Coach Prime's fault. That's the state's problem, right? The city and the state's problem. But your city does have a water crisis. So your city had a water crisis, and in your stadium, now this is a university problem. This is a problem with Ashley Robinson or whoever. Your stadium runs out of water. So in a city with a water crisis, the stadium runs out of water. Yeah, that's cause for leave. And my team is getting busted too. So my team's getting busted. I'm in a city with a water crisis, and the stadium runs out of clean water, drinking water. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the parking lot early too. I'm getting out of here early too. I'm beating the traffic because there's no reason for me to stay. Like, absolutely no reason. So that's not a Grambling problem. That's not an HBCU problem. That's a Jackson, Mississippi problem as far as the state and the city getting the water. That's a JSU problem as far as your stadium not having drinking water. That's not Grambling's issue. That's the only problem that I had with what he said. Yeah, can they show up better at the start of the game? Absolutely, probably. I don't know what they showed us. It looked like a lot of them were there, but yeah, they could definitely be there at the start of the game. But if they decide to leave, they pay their ticket, they pay their money to get in the game, and they decide to leave. That's on them, especially in a stadium where it's blazing hot. The city had a water crisis, and the stadium runs out of water. So I didn't agree with Prime there. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is JeffLightsYJr with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. That is Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.